Hi Japadians, welcome back to Akomolafe family channel. This is Bumi Akomolafe. Yeah, so quick updates. I just want to talk about some of the things that were the immediate challenges that we faced when we arrived. And we are 1 month, just slightly over 1 month now into Japada. And it's, I'm smiling. It's anytime you see me smiling, just know that it's good vibes. And by the way, I do apologize if you're hearing something like an engine noise in the background. Is the solar system that is making that noise. Updates. I want to talk about how we tackled 3 major issues that we needed to be on point before and after we jackpadad. So before we jackpadad, what we did, and after we jackpadad. So the first thing I want to talk about is the issue of water. Now, I'm sure a lot of people who are quite familiar with Lagos Island know that they do have water issue. And water issue, by water issue I mean in 2 dimensions, in 2 ways. Water issue 1 is the fact that that area is prone to flooding when it rains. And then the second issue is that their water, it means the water that comes from the tap, sometimes, comes in, they come in different colors. So mainly discolored water. So they have brown water. And I think it affects some areas more than some areas. So when we were looking for a flat, budget was one of the things that, one of the major factors that determined where we went. I'm being honest here, there is no capping. So budget was one of the reasons why that we considered before we chose an area. And the second thing was that I personally considered was the issue of flooding and the color of water. Because I knew when I was making this decision to move to this area, I knew that these things existed. So obviously most properties are on the mainland, aside from the fact that most areas are kind of overpopulated, very busy. I just wanted a place that still has nature to it, fresh air, not too crowded, not too populated. So we chose the island and Ibejuleki area to be precise. And the reason why I decided to go further out, most of those areas are prone to flooding and their water. Because somebody specifically told me, don't rent house or don't buy house in Shangotedo, their water is not good. So, and as many of you know already, that I made most of these decisions whilst I was in the UK. So there were things I didn't even see. I just went by the research I did myself and what people could check for me. So, but what I did was, when I found the place I was looking for that fit my budget, I sent somebody to specifically go and look at their water. And they did a video call. I remember that day, we did a video call. They went to one of their main sources of water that had a very large tap, and they opened the water and the water gushed out and it was very clean water. So I saw that the water was okay with my own eyes. About 2 people who went that day to witness that. So this was about 7-8 months ago. Obviously I've been planning Japada now for almost a year before we finally decided to Japada. That was the reason I was very shocked when I arrived and I saw that the water was discolored. Somebody made a joke in one of the comments that somebody said I was looking fresh. That person said, I'm looking fresh because I'm having my shower with pure water, the sachet water. And it's not the fact that I just laughed because I was like, this person nearly got it right, but they are not quite right as well. At that point, I bought sachet water true, and I was using that to do my, if I wanted to sterilize my baby's bottle, I would use the sachet water too. I would just boil that and then if I want to put water into what I'm cooking, I will use the sachet water. I only use the tap water the tap water was clean enough to shower, to flush, to do other household things, but you could still see the discoloration in the water. It was not as bad as the ones I've seen on the island, but there was still some level of discoloration. So I started wondering, what happened in that time? I started thinking, did the people not check it well? Then I was like, but I saw it in my eyes, the water was clean. What happened? So this was 2 weeks into, we just came, first week, second week. So we're still asking questions. And then along the line, they added us to the estate, their meeting. So they have this estate body that do coordinate activities, services within the estate. So aside from the estate management itself, who, we pay our service charge to, and they oversee the overall services that are provided in the estate. Things like fumigation, lawn mowing, refuse collection, general sweeping and cleaning and tidying of the place. Aside from the people who do those things, there are people who actually are landlords and tenants association that ensure that the money we are paying to the estate management is actually being used to do what they are saying that they will use it to do. So thank God that they have such an association in this estate, because it was not until when they added me and my husband to the their WhatsApp group that we knew what was actually wrong with the water. So they just needed to clean the tank. That was why we were having discolored water. So the water was never colored in the first place. Then somebody else said, oh, the water didn't used to be like this. It's because they've not cleaned the tank. So I figured, okay. So it's because they've not cleaned the tank. Not long after that time, then they organized this big meeting, and they were like chanting for everybody to attend, that we needed to come out in our numbers, and they invited the estate management as well, so that they could see that we're not joking around. We wanted things done, within the estate. This is not something that I'm quite used to, because where we are coming from, I've never been to any meeting in the UK where we are having to challenge housing association or come out like all the tenants sit down in one place. I've been having a meeting. So it felt a little bit out of place for me at first, but I just felt I love the fact that they're working together to tackle this issue, and they are challenging the estate management. And at the end of the day, we are all going to benefit from this. And it's not just the water issue that we're going to address. We're going to address a whole lot of other issues, poor lighting within the estate, for example. And so I went to the meeting with my brother and my baby, and we were able to hear our concerns. People heard their concerns about the water issue, and I was so happy that they fixed the day to clean the tank. And they washed the tank 2 days ago, and the water is a lot better. It's not 100%, but it's a lot cleaner. The water now is clearer. We can shower now without being worried now that we don't know what kind of water we're using to shower. I still cook with my sachet water, because you cannot unsee what you've seen, that kind of thing. So my mind is I'm not trusting them enough now to use that water to cook it. So I'm still using my sachet water to cook. That's the issue of water tackled. So 24-hour light now was the second one. So 24-hour light, as most people know now, in Lagos, in Nigeria, and other parts of the world, solar is now the way to go. And I think generally, since arriving, I've noticed that a lot of places now have light. Now, the money they are charging for the light is a different thing entirely. And I know different areas, different bands. But for my own estate, we are not a band A. And from what I hear about people in band A, what they go through, I am glad that we are not in band A. We get lights like frequently. I'm not going to lie. What they do is that sometimes they bring the light for like 4 days, and then they can take the light for 1 day, which in my opinion is a lot of improvement compared to the many Nigeria that I knew many years ago. So I know they take it for a full day, sometimes a day and a half, and then they have it another 4 days. Even if they are going to take it maybe for a few minutes, it's back. And I've not really I think it's just once that I've had to depend on solar system about almost 48 hours. I think it's just once since I've arrived. But if that's not happened again since then, the light is always charging my battery. When the light is not there, the solar panels are charging my battery. So what I did was I got, for my own self, when I was in the UK, I thought, okay, what's the most important thing for me when it comes to electricity? Then I said, okay, I don't want my freezer to ever go off. My chest freezer, I don't want it to ever go off. And my American fridge freezer, I don't want it to ever go off. Just because I have kids and I have food in there. And I know how food poisoning can be a serious thing. I don't want my food changing temperature anyhow. So I want those things to be constantly on. And I discussed with the people who were going to install the panel, and they told me what I'm going to be needing. Yeah, so I said to them, I have ACs in all the rooms. So in this house, we have total of 4 ACs, which is another thing that tends to consume power. So I said they should put 2 on permanently on electricity. And when there is light, all the 4 can come on. When there is no light, the only ones that I can use my inverter to carry are the one in the living room and the one in my bedroom. So I just alternate them. So if I'm sat in the living room, the one in my bedroom is automatically off. And if I'm in my bedroom, the one in the living room is off. So I just alternate them like that for when there is no light. But when there is light, like as I'm talking to you right now, there is light. So all the ACs are on in all the rooms. Yeah, so but my freezer and my fridge stay on permanently. Yeah, so I got, I think it's 15 kVA battery, and I got big panels. I think we got 6 or 8. I can't remember now. I think about 6 or 8 panels on the roof to charge the batteries for when there's no light. So, and that's been doing us well so far. We've been enjoying it. We know how to kind of adjust the load now, and then no issues. 1 month into it, we always have light 24 hours. Solar panel is really like a game changer in terms of electricity. And generally in Lagos, Nigeria, I don't know about other states, but in general Lagos, Nigeria, I think light is improving now in most areas. So that's my own observation. That's what I've observed since arriving. And the last thing that I was a little bit worried about when I was going to Japada was my furniture. I knew that I could ship many things, but I couldn't possibly ship sofas, beds, and things like that. I think that would just be too much stress or too much shipping for me. Even the cost might not even be necessary. So I thought, okay, when I get to Lagos, Nigeria, I will go and look in the shops to see the ones that they bring in from Turkey, if they are affordable, and see whether I will find something that I like. And unfortunately, my brother went to the shops, he did video calls, and the prices on the furniture were just ridiculous. There was a particular bed we found that wasn't even looking all that good, and it has a price tag of 7 million naira on it, which is equivalent of like 3,500 pounds just for a bed. I know things are generally now becoming expensive in Lagos, Nigeria. And when I say things are becoming expensive in Nigeria, I mean we are now spending equivalent of what we spend in the UK here in Nigeria. You know, so which is the reality. That's another topic for another day. I'll leave that shopping, and at least I've done 1 month now. We've gone to the shop a few times, we've gone to the market a few times. I can now talk about that, but not in this video so that it's not too lengthy. My brother was passing through one of the streets, you know, in the estate, and he saw this young man making a sofa for the people living in that flat, and he saw the work, and he took photographs of this work and took his number. So he forwarded the work to me. I was like, wow, this guy is talented, you know, he's very good at what he does. And I said I was going to contact him to see more of the things that he's done, and then I contacted him. He sent me the wardrobe that he did for that person. Unfortunately, at this time, I had already done my kitchen cabinet and the doors. Otherwise, it would have been the one to do the kitchen cabinet and the doors. I decided to give him the job, and I told him what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this corner piece sofa. I wanted to do 2 single chairs, and I wanted to do like a center table, but I didn't want the table to be made of glass just because of my daughter. Because I know she would fall down and hit her head or her face or her mouth, you know, anywhere around those kind of things, and she would hurt herself. And I cannot tell you how many times she has fallen on this cushioned center table that I made, and she will hit her head and she will just get up and dust herself and carry on doing her third little walk, you know. And I'm so glad I made that decision to make it all cushioned. So he did the dining table as well, he did all the wardrobes, he did all the single beds, he did the double beds as well, and he did all these things. I think I paid him and just over 2 million, I think maybe 2.5 thereabouts. I did say in my video that I did in the UK that we should consider using Nigerian artisans. So if you are lucky to find one that is talented like this guy, they actually do make good furniture. And yeah, so we just bought mattresses, and the bed is really nice, really cute. Everything they made for us really nice. So that was how we tackled the issue of furniture. I did not ship any furniture from the UK. I did ship my freezer and my fridge freezer, and I did ship my washing machine. And believe you me, that washing machine that I shipped, I'm thanking God I took that decision. And I will advise anybody to ship your washing machine if you can, your fridge freezer, your washing machine, all those things, because the cost that you get them here, ridiculous. I saw a similar washing machine in one of the supermarkets. I don't want to mention the name, and it looks quite similar to, you know, to mine. Mine is bigger, and I look at the price tag on it, it's about 600,000 naira. And when I touch it, the quality is not the same. Like, it's not the same. It says the same name on it. The one I brought from the UK, when I touch it, the quality is there. So anything you can bring from in terms of appliances. I tell to people that are coming as well after me, something like your gas burners, they tend to have better quality. So it might be worth thinking about those things. Yeah, so that's how I tackle these three major issues of water. Now our water is a lot better. Of light, we have 24 hours light, no issues with light whatsoever. And with my furniture, because the furnishing is major aspect of the house. Thank you so much for watching on this video. If you have any questions, do well to ask. I'm happy to answer questions. And I just also want to thank somebody called Mrs. Cindy who reached out to me. She's an angel. God is just sending me help left, right, center. People just watch my videos and they reach out to me. And Cindy said she wants me to, she wants me to see this Japada through. She doesn't want me to be discouraged and carry my bag and run back to the UK. So Cindy, thank you so much. You know what Cindy did? Cindy offered to send a driver and a car. She told me, don't worry about the cost of petrol, about car, about anything. My driver will take anytime you need my driver. Just call me. I will send my car. I will send my driver over to take you anywhere you want to go. So I was like, wow. I mean, you just imagine this little me, and God is showing me this much love. So she also saw my update video where I said we'll now have a car. So it's now I'm looking for driver. So I've told her now that I'm looking for driver. So if she find me a good driver like her own, she should send them my way. But in that time, once I have any, I'm keeping her for like serious, urgent, just up until the time I find a driver. I'm keeping her for once I have any serious place I want to go. At the moment, I'm just driving within the community, So thank you so much, Cindy. At the moment, it's just school run within the community and shopping from the nearby supermarket. But should I have any reason to hit that Lekki Ekpe Expressway, I will definitely reach out to you, pending the time that I find a driver. So God bless you so much. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you, everybody, for the support. Thank you for following us on this journey. So many videos are still coming with my business. We are going to start unfolding. So this is 1 month into Japada. We are still kind of finding our feet. We are still relaxing. I'm starting to look on ground. And the good thing about this area that I've come to is this area is just developing. So there's still so much to tap into in this area. So I'm kind of studying the environment. I'm also in the process of business registration. Somebody is helping me also with that. So once I register for my business, I'm aiming to register for my charity organization as well. So a lot of things to be doing. I'm always busy most of the time anyway, keeping myself busy. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following us on this journey. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.